Welcome to the Goalpost, the podcast where it's all about long-term player development. We're here to talk soccer through a different lens, one that puts the players before the scoreboard and progress before pressure. This is all youth soccer with a purpose. All development, all the time. I'm your host, Jason Glover. Welcome back to the Goalpost, where we talk about what really matters in player development, not just what shows up on the scoreboard. Today, I want to slow the game down for a moment, because some of the most important decisions in soccer don't happen when the player has the ball. It happens before it even arrives. Good decisions start early. And here's the truth. Decisions don't start when a player receives the ball. They start before the ball even gets there. The best players in the world aren't reacting when the ball arrives at their foot. They're already solving problems while the ball is traveling towards them. They're playing the game one step ahead. And that separation, which might look trivial, it's clarity. And it comes from three connected decisions that happen in sequence. The first decision is scanning. Scanning isn't just looking around, and quite honestly, there's a lot of videos and tutorials that have these silly exercises, and the kids are looking around back and forth, heads jerking both ways, and that's not really looking with purpose. So that's the point, is when you do an activity, there has to be a reason, not the action, but a reason for the action. So you have to be able to say, what's around me? Where is the pressure coming from? And then where's the space opening up? So think about it. You see the activity online, and it's like the coach has a red penny and a green penny, and they play the ball to the player, and then they go, identify the color. And they go, green. And they go, yeah, that's right. And then you see coaches, and they go out and do the same activity with their team, but it's not solving the game. It's solving what color penny am I holding up. But that's not the game. So players, they shouldn't be dog and ponied around to collect random information. They have to be scanning to speed up the next action. So the green and the red penny activity, although it looks like it's mimicking the game, it's not. So one thing that you can look for in your own player is, without scanning, every other decision is delayed. So if you ever want your child to play faster, scanning is part of that process. And if your decisions are delayed, your touch is heavier, passes are rushed, pressure feels overwhelming. So what looks like maybe poor technique is often just late information. So your first decision is scanning. Second decision, spacing. Once a player scans, the next decision is spacing. Where do I need to stand to see the field? Open my body to receive the ball, receive on the half turn, create an angle for the next action. So good spacing buys time. Poor spacing steals it. So this is important for parents and coaches to hear. When players are forced to play backwards or sideways, it's often not because they lack quality. It's because they ran out of options before the ball arrived. They were closed, they were flat, they were hidden, they were disconnected. Spacing determines what's possible next. And here's the third decision. So remember, decision 1 is scanning. Decision 2 is spacing. Decision 3, intention. Before the ball arrives, the player already should know, am I playing it forward? Am I going to protect the ball? Am I drawing pressure in to free a teammate? Receiving without intention leads to safe possession, but not meaningful progression. It's like passing without a purpose. You have to be able to progress the ball forward for a soccer action on goal. And this is where games stall or look boring or uninteresting. So teams, they keep the ball, but they're not threatening. And then confidence sort of leaks out the back because the ball is moving, but nothing's happening. And that really leans in on team intention, player intention. So it's a chain reaction. And here's the key idea. These three decisions, they're all connected. Scanning informs spacing. Spacing shapes intention. Intention defines the action. Let me say that again. Scanning informs spacing. Spacing shapes intention. Intention defines the action. Miss one link in the chain and the whole play slows down. That's why great players like Messi look like they have more time. They don't. They're just earlier. Speed doesn't come from urgency. It comes from preparation. If we want players to play faster, we have to teach them how to scan earlier. We have to help them understand spacing. And we have to ask them to decide before receiving. And then the game speeds up naturally. So what's this mean for a parent who's listening? When you're watching from the sideline, instead of asking, why didn't they pass? Try asking, did you scan? Was your teammate open? Did you see your options? Those questions shift the focus from outcomes to understanding. And understanding is where development lives. Just remember, the game isn't won by the biggest, tallest, strongest, fastest kids. It's actually won by the fastest minds. So you can be smaller, not as strong. But if your brain is operating faster, you have an advantage. Because the faster that your brain is thinking before the ball arrives, you're slowing the game down for yourself, but you're speeding up your own decision. And that's how we build players who don't just survive in pressure. They use it. Thanks for listening to the Goalpost. If this helped change how you see the game, great. We're going to be doing more episodes about this, and maybe share it with your child. Discuss it with your spouse. Turn this into a conversation. We'll see you next time. It's all development, all the time. I'm really glad you joined us today on the Goalpost. Raising and supporting young players isn't always easy, but choosing to focus on their growth, their joy, and their character, now that's the right thing to do. You might not see the results right away, but every small moment you invest makes a big difference in your child's life. And remember, all development, all the time. That's not just a motto, it's a promise. We'll be here next time cheering with you.